The storm desk. Read the storm, book the roofs. You roll into a 2010 subdivision after a hail event, and every house looks the same. Same builder, same year, same roof, that still reads new from the curb, so you assume it's all too young to matter, or you assume the whole street qualifies. Both reads cost you. By the end of this, you'll know why these clone neighborhoods are prime hail targets, and how to tell which identical roof a storm actually wore out. The houses are clones. The roofs are not. One looks new and books nothing. Read it right and it books all season. Start with the math the curb hides. A 2013 roof is past 12 years old now. Most budget subdivision builds got the cheapest qualifying shingle, a 3-tab or a low-end laminate. Laminate means 2 layers fused for a thicker shingle. 3-tab shingles broadly run 15 to 20 years, and in storm country they fall short of that. So a roof that looks practically new is often past the halfway point of its rated life. The street says young, the clock says due. Now the part that makes these roofs fragile. Production builders work on volume and schedule. Roofs go on fast, by crews paid per square, sometimes in cold weather, sometimes over a deck that got rained on. Trade sources say most premature roof failures come from install errors, not bad material. Overdriven nails, rushed flashing, shingles that never fully sealed. A storm does not create those weaknesses. It exposes them. That's the pattern. Thin material, built quick, hiding a defect, a decade old. Here's the hidden one. Every asphalt shingle relies on a seal strip, a heat-activated adhesive that bonds each course to the one below. That bond is the wind rating. But the lab one tests grade brand new, fully sealed shingles. They don't account for a strip that aged or one that never bonded. Field research ties most wind damage to seal strips losing grip along the leading edge over time. A roof installed in cool weather or on a shaded north slope can start life with a wind weakness baked in years before any storm. So the clone street isn't really a clone. 2 houses framed the same month can have very different roofs by year 12. One still wears the original builder shingle. One got re-roofed after a 2019 hail claim, so its roof age is 6 even though the house is 14. One has a north slope under heavy trees that never sealed and is shedding tabs. Its mirror image neighbor faced south, baked the seal solid and is holding fine. The houses are identical. The roofs are not. That gap is the whole job. Now hail, the threat that does the most quiet damage to these roofs. The bar is lower than people think. The National Weather Service counts hail as severe at 1 inch, quarter-sized. It doesn't take a baseball. 1 inch to golf ball hail is the range that bruises a thin shingle. A bruise cracks the mat under the granules with no obvious hole. Press it and it feels soft, like a bruise on fruit. That fracture is the roof wearing out. A budget shingle has a thinner mat, so it bruises where a premium roof shrugs it off. The rating tells you which roofs survive, and most of these don't have it. The impact test, UL 2218, drops a steel ball and grades a shingle Class 1 through Class 4. A Class 4 shingle takes a 2-inch ball from 20 feet, twice on the same spot, with no crack on the underside of the mat. The lab people at IBHS Fire made hailstones at real shingles and find real differences between brands. But Class 4 is an upgrade, and production builders rarely upgrade. So your typical 2010s roof sits on the vulnerable end of that scale. Now draw the line that decides the dollars. Functional versus cosmetic. Functional means the roof can't keep water out anymore. Fractured mat, exposed underlayment, missing shingles. Cosmetic means it just looks bad. Surface dense, a little granule scatter, barrier intact. Many newer policies carry a cosmetic damage exclusion that strips coverage for appearance-only damage. Work the functional damage. Don't sell the dimples. And read the homeowner's policy for that exclusion before anyone assumes a dented roof is covered. Here's the threat that costs the most and never touches the roof. The insurance age cliff. Most policies pay one of 2 ways. Replacement cost pays to put a new roof on, minus the deductible. Actual cash value pays the depreciated number and leaves the rest to the owner. Adjusters depreciate asphalt roughly 3 to 5% a year, so a roof in its second decade can lose half its value on paper. And the trigger age dropped. Carriers that once held roofs on replacement cost to 20 years are moving toward 10 to 15. That window lands on 2010's roofs. Run the mechanism so the homeowner gets it. Same roof, same hail. On replacement cost, the insurer might pay to replace, minus the deductible. On an older roof, actual cash value schedule, depreciation comes out first, and the owners share balloons. The roof is identical. The payout is not. So the highest value thing a homeowner can do is read the declarations page before a storm, the document that names replacement cost or actual cash value, the deductible, and any cosmetic exclusion. A storm doesn't change depreciation. Roof age does. Here's the line, and it is not subtle. Your job is to document conditions and write an estimate. The claim is not yours to run. The insurer decides coverage. The homeowner owns the claim, and the deductible is theirs to pay. A roofer who says they'll handle, negotiate, fight, or maximize the claim may be acting as an unlicensed public adjuster, which is illegal in most states, and anyone offering to waive, cover, or eat the deductible is proposing fraud. Document. Don't diagnose the claim. The whole neighborhood qualifies is not a fact about any roof. Document it so it holds up. Shoot every condition at 3 distances. A wide shot to fix the slope. A medium shot of a test square so the density reads. A close shot of the finding with a coin for scale. Tie each photo to the slope and the date, because the storm-facing side tells a different story than the sheltered side. For every mark, record the likely cause, storm, age, wear, or install, and whether it's functional or cosmetic. A packet that separates cause from age survives an adjuster. A folder of unlabeled phone photos does not. Keep the homeowner off the roof and stay honest about access. These clones aren't identical up close. One lot has a walkout basement that turns a 1-story front into a 2-story rear. One has solar over half a slope. A storm leaves slopes wet and granules loose, which turns a roof into a slide. Falls from roofs are a leading cause of construction injuries. Document from the ladder, the ground with a zoom, and the attic. And write down what you could not safely reach. An inspection that admits its limit is honest. One that claims a walk it couldn't reach is not. Here's where RoofPredict fits and where it doesn't. It pairs an estimated roof age range with the hail and wind modeled for each specific home, scoring which roofs a real storm most plausibly wore out, instead of flagging every house the storm crossed. On a clone street, that means skip the re-roofs and look hard at the originals 12+ years in. It does not inspect the roof, diagnose damage, or decide coverage. Roof age is a range for planning, not an exact date. The list starts the route. The ladder earns the sale. Close the loop. A 2010 subdivision looks young and is mostly past midlife on cheap material, built quick on seals that fade. That's why the clones are prime hail targets. Hail bruises the thin mat, the age cliff cuts the payout, and the street that looks new is full of roofs that are actually due. Treat the subdivision as a map, and the roof as the truth. Prioritize the originals, skip the re-roofs, inspect each house, and hold the insurance line. The chaser knocks every clone. You knock the roofs the storm actually wore out.